How you guys doing? Zinc Founder here. So the last few days, it's usually every few days that I'll give you guys an update, we had some serious sun. It wreaked some havoc on the plants, and I can definitely see how it's been shorting the plants. It's been kind of kicking them down. I'll go ahead and give you an example by, here is the cucumber. Here is one of the cantaloupe, and here's the other cantaloupe. Ones that have actually been getting a little bit of shade. As you can see, they've been doing excellent. That guy was in the sun for a good minute, and well, you see what happened to him. But bam! Bam! So we went ahead and built this. So it covers up that area right over there. And I brought the fish tank in a little bit closer. As you can see with the piping, it's quite a little easier now. We've got some good aeration going. I extended the overflow pipe so it's a dual corkscrew feed on the end. That gives it some extra aeration. And all in all, since we have this level here is the lowest that it gets there, it'll never really start overflowing too fast past this point, even when we've got big fish in there, because as you can see, it is now in line with the bottom of this. So if this ever starts getting high, it's not really going to overflow. It's just going to go ahead and keep on filling up in here and keep some water in the reservoirs, in the planters. And the difference between it, as you can see, these guys were really in the sun, and they've just kind of been stunted compared to the ones in the hydroponics bubbler. And all of them are pretty much that way. The squash is doing excellent no matter what, it seems. But even just today, on having that sprouted, we've got some good strength growth. We've got some secondary leaves instead of just the primary starting. We have got all sorts of cilantro popping up now, and it's getting nice and big. Now these little round ones, that's just lettuce. That's stuff that I've been putting in here. You can tell because it's got that triple prong and the rounded leaves. But all of this pointy stuff, that's the herbs that I put in and I've been waiting on for forever and ever. I'm sure you guys have seen it. It's been days and days, weeks. This is about week 3 that we're in here now, coming up on week 4. And finally we've got some, here, let me see if I can get you closer. We've got some secondary leaves, I said third because these all have 3 little prongs of leaves and 3 sets of leaves. So secondary leaf starting way down in there. You can kind of see the secondary leaf starting. It's starting, you guys. Since this has had some shade, it's been a lot better. A lot better. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to be doing with all of these melons, because melon needs a lot of room to grow. Oh, I don't know if you've noticed since the last one, there used to be a really big pea pod right here. She died. Too much heat. This one was almost getting ready to die, but looks like we caught her in time, and I got them kind of covered up. Better than just laying a tarp over the top of it, because that just wasn't working very well anymore. They needed some room to breathe. But as you can see, this pea is doing magnificently. See that? I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Actually, I did kind of, just not focused on poetry. Though I guess I'm pretty good. A lot of people like that. Well, like mine anyway. They, woo, happy do. Anyway, but as you can see, no more goofy business. It's serious time now. We're getting close to the end of the friggin' season, and if I would have had this shade tarp up from day 1, everything would look that magnificent. I mean, week 3, how can you argue with that? And it was even stunted for the first couple of weeks because it was still in the big system, and it wasn't completely shaded up like these ones have been. So yeah, we're getting everything nice and set up. It's looking really nice. We've got the solar panels back there. I don't know if you can kind of see them. They're just doing their thing, keeping it at a 13.1. I'm giving them another day to charge up. Yesterday we had it all on the solar and it was working pretty good, but we need another battery because it is draining a little bit too quickly. What I've been getting research on and what Dad's kind of confirmed is that the little go-kart batteries, while they are a little bit more expensive, they're made to take those slow charges, so it takes a lot longer to drain them even though they're only 6 volt. So I'm thinking 6 volt is going to be way better for this. If we could get a couple, 2 or 3 of those little old go-kart batteries, maybe you can check with a junkyard, something like that, that would be your best bet. And then always make sure you've got your solar panels pointed there at the sun. My solar panels, yeah, eventually they look like they will be solar panners because Pops has been researching some of those automatic maneuvering systems, the ones that track the sun, so we can put it up on a slide and get it to tilt a little bit. Geez, I can't speak. You guys always make me so gosh dang nervous. Stop that. First you're hanging out in my pocket, now you're making me nervous so I can't even talk. So what I did is inside here, you'll see that everything is about level now, even though I've taken it back to half the pipe length that was in there before. It's about to shut off again. And I put inhibitors, flow inhibitors, inside these bottom ones. So it'll fill all the way up to the top until it gets way up here. Oh, it's not quite there yet. It's just about to be there. This will go ahead and start corkscrewing on the drain out. And as soon as this gets high enough, it'll start to, I'll be able to hear the difference in it. So I'll let you see. We'll go ahead and pan this movie out a little bit longer. Give you a good view of the fish swimming around in there. As you can see, there's quite a few large tilapia. They're not exactly large yet, but compared to when we first put them on, they're pretty darn large. So we've got corkscrew now, as you can see. Go ahead and corkscrews through. And the big difference is you see a lot of surface bubbles, but because of this corkscrew, it's all being aerated up here and over here. So when it hits the water, all of that already aerated water is going straight in and it's pushing the flow of the water down towards the pump. And the pump is doing a lot stronger. It's doing a lot better since we've raised it up. I just gave it a little 8-inch lift because each one of these bricks are 8 inches. And I kind of figured that that would give me to a point where I would stop having overflow problems. And it's working pretty darn good. So lo and behold, I went ahead and negated the need to up this up to a 3/4 inch, though I would still recommend having the leveling tank at 3/4 inch. And we are nice and strong. A nice, steady, slow drain out here for the plants, so it'll keep the rocks cool. They've got their shade now. They've got all of the nutrients they're going to need, especially with the 80, 91, no, it was 82 because we had some dead ones. So 82 live tilapia. I have had a few others die off. I think 2 die-offs on those, so we're at an 80 even. And that's going to make a lot more fish poop for a lot more of this to get these plants really starting to swell up now that they are going to be in pristine and prime situation. But as you can see, still working really good, you guys. Even with the danger that we had with burn off. I mean, you can see the discoloration. You can really see the discoloration right down in there where those primary leaves were just trying to take up most of that heat and drain it out of these big fan leaves, because those are the solar panels and those are doing the exact same thing as what those are doing for the entire system. This is what makes the food for the plant. The energy that it needs, I guess is the right word, not food. Food is in the planter bed, it's in the media. But this is what makes that energy for the photosynthesis, for creation of life, for propagation of cells, for growth. And that's why those guys went friggin' crazy, and these guys, they're still kind of small compared to, as you can see. I mean, they're getting up there. If you look at the other video, these melon plants, these were not that big. And speaking of watermelon and melon in general, I think I'm gonna go make a watermelon, papaya, honeydew, and cantaloupe smoothie right now, because that's the way I roll. And I don't care if you think it's gay. It's good. So, haha. Anyway, much love from zincreality.com. Please go visit, please check us out, and please, please, please buy a book, because it's what's going to be funding all of this stuff here. As you can see, really cool. Oh, I almost forgot to show you the corn. The corn is doing so good, you guys. Look at this. Boom! Reaching up beyond it and everything. Remember last time where it was almost 3 feet? Well, we are well beyond 3 feet now, boys and girls. Well beyond 3 feet now. Look at all of that growth. Look at all of that growth. That is going to make a lot of corn. And check this out. I don't know why this one's doing it. I'm guessing it's because it lost the first few leaves. But look at that. It's very rare that you get to see it actually growing inside the husks like that. So I just thought that was really cool that this one's reaching out. And you can see the health in that. I mean, good God, right? But there you go. There's a really good example of how corn is a relative of grass. It's the same kind of stuff. They've all got the same pretty much genus in them. And there's your proof right there. I mean, these are grains. They are 100% grassy. They're just big grass, and they're grass that's good enough for us to eat too. So there's your update. 11.5 minutes in. One love, one world, one another. You guys have a good one. Mwah.